I got 6 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. We'll start with saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I believe we have one amendment to change. The accounts payable, we need to change that to 3-4 instead of 4-4. Other than that, I just need a motion to adopt of the agenda.
So moved.
Any further discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Quick take a review of the minutes from February 18th, 2021.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of February 18th.
Second that. Any further discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Accounts payable. Council General.
There are all the liquor license refunds that were approved the first meeting in February. If you look at, where was that one? 755705. They purchased some time so that they could fix some of the problems that we're having with our tech. So that's what that is. And the WHKS 1717, that is for the water looping and some general other things. The rest are pretty well. There's another tech one. What was that one for, Kim? That Tyler Technologies?
Well, that's our software support. for
Oh,
our
that's a
financial-
yearly annual thing. Yeah. Okay, for your financial software. So
Doesn't matter.
no one has any questions. I'll make a motion to approve the amount of $59,667.03.
Any questions for Sarah?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Thanks. This is the time of the meeting for public comment. Individuals may address the city council about any item concerned. Speakers must state their name and limit their remarks to 5 minutes. During COVID, we ask any public comments to be addressed to either Kim or Brian. Anybody?
I did receive a phone call from a gentleman who wanted to, or asked about coming in to speak about the County Road 6 project, but I don't see him here, so I don't know who that is up there.
News reporter.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so no. In that case, none.
Perfect. Kim?
Nothing.
Sounds good. We'll close this public comments part. We'll jump down to 7A, water sewer shutoff update. Kim?
All right, well, we sent out 40 letters to properties that were 90 days older, just telling them that we're ready to help them get some payment arrangements, or we would encourage them to pay their bill if they were able to, just so they don't end up with a very large bill by the time this grace period that we have going on. And we've gotten a very positive response. When the day I looked at it, we had 12, and I think we've had 3 or 4 others sign up out of that in the last 10 days. So I think what we plan to do going forward is that at month end, we'll go through and weed through the over 90s and just keep sending out these letters, because it's just so much better for them than to have that big. I just hate to see somebody stuck with $1,000 balance or something that they have to try and pay. That's just so difficult. So you're all right with it. I'd like to continue going forward with that until you guys actually reinstate the shut off policy.
How many did you start out, Kim, again? I can't remember.
40.
40, and we've had 15
So roughly a third. Yeah, a little over a third.
in 2 weeks. Do we do that in 2 weeks? Okay. Any questions for Kim? Thanks, Kim. New business, 8A, employee paid leave for COVID-19 illness discussion. Mr. Grudem.
Yes, when all the COVID stuff started happening, there was an act passed, the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. And part of that was a requirement for employers to provide employees with paid sick leave. The act was effective through December 31st, 2020. So it's no longer, the act is no longer in effect. We are not required to provide paid leave for coronavirus-related leave. I did include the act in your packet as well. It was 80 hours of paid sick leave, and then there's some other provisions in there for different types of leave for children or taking care of parents or things like that. So what we wanted to discuss tonight is, if council could extend paying for COVID sick leave if you so choose. Or we could just say we're not going to pay any more COVID sick leave, and they'll have to use their PTO just like a normal flu, normal sickness. The staff recommendation, after talking about it, would be to extend it through March. That way everybody's got a little heads up that, hey, this leave is going to expire. We're not going to be paying for COVID leave, past the last day in March. That way I'll bring the full staff in here on Tuesday when we have a staff meeting and let everybody know that that we're going to follow, what the federal act is doing. It's expired. So, but I kind of wanted the council to discuss that, and we can do, whatever you decide.
Questions, opinions?
How many staff members had actually used that during the last year,
Six?
Could have been 6. We had some quarantine in the office, but we were able to work from home at that time. But actual out for the 2 weeks, yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah.
Council?
I don't care either way.
We think with the vaccines going now and everything, how long do we extend it? A
Well,
little
it's
bit makes sense to give everybody a heads up in case they're planning whatever, but to leave it in perpetuity doesn't make any sense either. So we're just kind of looking for a guidance on, a motion in a second if you wish to extend it to some point.
Yeah, so if we decide to extend it to a certain date, March 31st, we need a motion. If we just want to leave what CDC said is that ends December 31st, then we don't need a motion, we can continue.
I think we should probably extend it, to the point where the vaccine's available for the general public. So that everybody has an opportunity if they want to get vaccinated first, right?
That'll be through the summer. The last timeline I saw from Goodie County Health was, it won't be everybody. It won't be available to everybody until the end of summer. Now, what this Johnson & Johnson vaccine does to that timeline, I'm not sure. Could be quicker. I think, what did they say? There's 18%. Is that what Scott said today? 18% of Goodie County residents have been vaccinated.
Or Goodhue County? Have we heard of what state is? I haven't heard of what state is either.
I can't remember. That number's out there, but I can't remember. We want to encourage people to stay home if they have COVID, obviously.
Yeah.
But either way, people will.
But we
Do the right
we
thing.
still have measures that we're supposed to be checking when they come in the door.
Yep.
So if they come in with a fever, you automatically send them home now. They're supposed to. I mean, I think Public Works is probably the biggest one, because, their boys are here and there, but.
Here and there, and police as well.
Well, why don't we extend it through April? Because at June, last thing I read, in June, the vaccine will be open for anyone who works in the public, I think is what if you're working with the public, I think that's,
Yeah, I think
it's
they're
not the
on.
general public, but where everyone can do it, but.
Yeah, I think that's coming. I know they're doing food processing employees next,
First,
I
yeah,
believe.
and then it will be food service and
then
public.
select essential employees.
Mhm.
Police, I would think. Maybe have you already had?
They're available now.
Okay. And then, public works type stuff, because we've got to keep the roads clear. We got to keep things running. So that'll be, that would be reasonable, I think.
No, anyone else feels.
So can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion that we extend the employee paid leave through the last day of April,
30th?
the 30th.
Okay,
I will second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. We're going to change that to April 30th. New business 8B, approval of new park board members. Mr. Olson.
First board meeting, and we had the five candidates that we had letters of interest from. And out of those five, Troy Ness and Kayla Gifford were picked. We're just looking for approval from the city council.
I'll make a motion to approve the vacant park board positions.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Thanks, Mike. 8C, Woodland Setbacks, MOU. Ryan.
Good evening. So as part of the design for Woodlands residential development, there are lots that are owned by the homeowners association. Those outlots envelop residential lots. And if you have before you the plat, those outlots are lot 16 block 3, lot 15 block 2, and lot 52 block 1. So without that envelopment of those of that homeowners association owned outlots, several multifamily lots would not meet the front and rear yard setbacks. So this has been done, has been done in the past, but has not been put into writing, is to use those outlots to contribute and to calculate in with the front yard and rear yard setbacks. So as you can see on the image on the memorandum, these multifamily these townhomes are only 75 feet deep. The front yard and rear yard setbacks are 25 feet each. So that would only leave 25 feet deep in which to place a home. But if you factor in that envelopment, those outlots, then they're able to meet those requirements. So that has been done in the past, as you can see on the left-hand side of the image. It's been done in the past, but what this memorandum would do is actually putting into writing what has been left, what is already a common practice. And it would not alter the aesthetics or the character of the community as it's already being practiced. And it's just to reify that, just to create, establish this in writing now.
and the main thing is that those outlots cannot be sold or built on in the future. And they've provided documentation that'll remain with the association, is that?
Yes. So everybody who lives out there is paid into the association, and then they get a voice as to what happens with that common owned land. So if they want to sell it in the future, everyone who lives out there would be part of that decision making. And they'd have to replat or redesign it. But they would have to go through all of that at that point if they decide to do that.
Even if they're sold, though, they can't be buildable, is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
The outlaws.
Outlots, yes.
These agreements, I think, are pretty common. I know there's a bunch of them in Rochester. I remember dealing with them when I was down there. They always use these outlots for these purposes.
Any questions for Ryan? We need a motion to approve them setbacks by MOU.
I'll make a motion to approve those setbacks.
Any further questions? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Thanks. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Report. Brian.
All right. We have we have someone coming in to replace Ryan. Well, he's kind of irreplaceable, but we're going to try. No, we've hired someone, or CETA hired Dylan Armstead to replace Ryan. His projected start date is Monday, March 15th. He's looking for an apartment in town, wants to be part of the community, live right here, wants to get involved in as many things as he can, including, he mentioned coaching. So, and Ryan's got a good schedule worked out for the first week. Ryan's going to run him through everything multiple times, some things multiple times with the planning and zoning stuff like that. So Dylan can make a seamless transition, take over for Ryan when Ryan is done. Dylan has a wealth of experience in commercial real estate, business development and community development. He's got a master's in business administration, and the majority of his coursework was actually towards public administration. So he's only a couple of credits or a couple of courses short of having a public administration degree. He seems to be a great communicator, really good to talk to, energetic. I think it'll be good. So please come in March 15th. The sanitary district, I'll be bringing a non-binding resolution of support to the March 18th council meeting for consideration on continuing with the sanitary district effort. Our next meeting with the sanitary district is on March 31st, and that's when everybody who's going to stay interested or be part of it is supposed to have their non-binding resolution of support. And from there, we'll move into a little bit more of a feasibility study to keep that going. We had Ryan had set up a joint districts information meeting with the county, the school, and the surrounding townships. It sounds like that's something that had been done quarterly in the past, and when with COVID, it kind of went away. But so Ryan resurrected that. It was mostly virtual. We had one person come in from one of the townships that doesn't use a computer. So, and that was just a good opportunity to share information about what we have going on in Zumbrota. The townships can share, school district, and ask questions. It was good to have Scott Arneson from Goodhue County on with us. So yeah, we're going to look to continue that. Our next meeting will be in June, and we'll look to establish more of a formal agenda moving forward. So those meetings will be good. And then just a reminder, next Thursday, March 11th, 6 p.m. is our work session. We're going to be discussing 5-year project planning. And then we'd like to also discuss the next SRO contract.
What time was that? 6 o'clock?
6 p.m. Yep.
On when?
Next Thursday.
March 11th.
Oh,
So 3 Thursday meetings in a row.
how come we didn't have it the different? Okay. We usually have them like 5 before.
We were going to,
And I can't remember
it
why.
was suggested that it could be a long conversation with the project list. So was suggested, I think at the last council meeting, to split it out into a separate evening because it might go a little bit longer. Plus I slipped in the SRO on there too. So.
Perfect. Is that it, Brian?
Yep, that's it.
Thanks, sir. James.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Thank you. Steve? Thank you. Ryan?
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Matt? Kim?
You may or may not know that we opened the doors of City Hall this week. We are encouraging people to not come in to pay their bills, but to drop them in the drop box, but we are open.
How's the foot traffic been?
It's been okay. You know, we haven't had too many that have wandered in to just pay their bills, but yeah, I think it's going to be fine. And they've been very good.
Perfect. Thanks, Kim. Mike?
Just want to talk a little bit about getting a tree contract for the city, putting it out for bids. I think it would be easier for us to control our budget or to know our budget a little more as it would go out as measuring the tree from a certain height and so much per inch. That way we can know when I go out to look at trees, know how much it's gonna cost for that tree to come down. And then have, just a better eye of what we had budgeted for it, and what, instead of having them bid 6 trees and only able to do 2 or whatever. I've been looking at through the city of Red Wings, they use that. So essentially, I guess what I'd like to do is see what your thoughts are on that, and then what we do is put it out for a bid for tree removal in town. Probably a 3-year, I think everything seems to go on a 3-year contract, would probably work. Is there any thoughts on that?
That's pretty similar to what we do, same thing with snow removal and other things that we bid out, right?
So I do have trouble getting, we got one local person that bids. I've asked other people to bid, and after a few times of bidding, they don't really want to put the time into it anymore, because to be honest with you, those quotes come back cheaper every time from the local contractor. But I have to still present you guys quotes to remove trees in the boulevard. So it'd just be easier to get a contract in place, I think.
So this, just to make it clear on my side, Mike, is it's just a bid, so you can go out and measure a tree and it's so big, you know what the price is gonna be for that tree.
Correct. And then, but the contractors still have to go up and measure that tree themselves and present the quote back to us for you guys to accept.
Before they go ahead and do it. Perfect. Yeah, I'm okay with it. Council?
So the next step, I'll get a bid package put together for people to quote, or to put quotes on, get that out to as many contractors as I can. And then when that comes back, it'll come back to you guys for approval.
Sounds good. Any questions for Mike? Thanks, Mike. I have nothing. Council Durham?
Okay.
Council Horvath?
Nothing.
Council Freaky? Meeting's adjourned.
You both sign that? Is that what it is?
That was nice. Got out and walked out, so he called me.
Is that what it is?
Hey, Ryan.
Oh,
Ryan?
of course.